telling us a little bit more about you and where are you from, Curtis?
Well, I was born and raised in Mississippi. You might hear that southern vernacular there. I've been in California now for over 40 years. And right now I'm in Orange County, California, which is between LA and San Diego. That's kind of where I reside right now. So that's kind of the gist of it. I was born and raised in a Christian family. My father was a fire and brimstone preacher. So, I tell people all the time, I went to hell every week. So it's kind of how I grew up and where I came from.
And what inspired you to become a coach?
I've been in this genre all of my life. I started out in sales, and the reason I went into sales was because I wanted to become, at that time, was a motivational speaker or a sales trainer. So I studied all the greats, everybody from Les Brown, from Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, Tony Robbins, all the guys that are out there. And I went into sales, and for some reason or another, that's why I stayed for the last 35, 40 years. And about 6 years ago, me and my wife sat down. We were in a position for me to retire. And she said, "Won't you do what you've always been passionate to do? That's helping people transform their lives." And so that's when I decided to become a coach. So I went out and got a certification as an executive coach, started doing that and hated it. The reason for that, it was not what I expected it to be. That's not how I became successful. I became successful by utilizing hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming. So I went back and got a certification as a certified clinical hypnotherapist and also a master practitioner in neurolinguistic programming. And so I created these three modalities of coaching and neurolinguistic programming, hypnotherapy, and created what I call now the L.G.E.T Mindset, of how a framework in which I help my clients transform their lives. Quick and fast.
I love it. Now, why does transformation stall even when you're motivated?
Usually it stalls when you're motivated. Think about the mind, right? The mind is consistent of two parts. One is your conscious, your willpower, I want to, analysis and things you feel like you want to do. The biggest portion of our belief system is housed in our subconscious mind, which is about 95% of our behavior. So if you say, I want to make $100,000, and you're all excited about it. Yeah, I want to make $100,000. Then what happens is it checks into your subconscious. Your subconscious mind will no, you don't. You're not worthy. You're not good enough. You've never done it before. It's something I'm not even familiar with. And so even though you want to, consciously on the subconscious level, because of your beliefs, your values, your time, your energy, all the things have gone in, everything from childhood and sometimes even pre-birth, while you're housed in your mom's womb, could have transferred some beliefs and values to you that now prevents you from actually getting what you want. So it stalls.
Thank you so much. Now, tell us more about the science of self-trust and how decisions are really made.
Well, decisions are really made, just like I said before. A decision is made not how you think it's made. Sometimes we think we're running the show. We think that we are the ones that actually doing what we do. We are, but it's based on all the things that we've learned, all the things that we have consumed over the years. Right before we got online, we talked about the fact that I was born and raised in Mississippi. So that became a part of my belief system. Part of my belief system is that my father always taught me, being a Black man in Mississippi, you can't just be just like everybody else. You got to be better. You have to work harder. You have to do more. So that became a part of my belief system. So that becomes who I am. So when we really think about it, whoever we are deep inside, it shows in our behavior. So even though we try to run from it, we think that we have changed. But however we show up, that's just an indication of who we are, truly who we are. But the beautiful part about it, Dr. Gigi, is that we can change. That's the beautiful part.
Yes, we can. I love that. Well said. Now, tell us more about from insight to integration, turning awareness into real change.
So basically, when you talk about integration and turning it to real change, part of the L.G.E.T Mindset is actually becoming aware of who we are. That's the first step that I usually make. Most coaches, when they come to you, they says, okay, what's the problem? And they go to what we consider a significant emotional event that just happened. That's not the problem. The problem is probably something that happened much longer before or way before. And so we deal with that first. And before we can integrate who we are and who we want to become, first we have to figure out what is the trigger. What is the root cause of that problem? What is actually driving that behavior? Once we figure out what's driving the behavior, we can change that trigger. Then it actually filters down through all our behaviors. That now we can actually make the change that we really want to make.
That's right. Very powerful. Now, Curtis, you lost a son in 2021, and your family experienced the heartbreaking loss of your son, a moment that redefined your world. Can you tell us a little bit more about it, and also too, how are you getting through each day?
That's a great question. You got me on that one, Dr. Gigi. Just so happened when we're recording this is the week that we lost our son. It was actually on the 21st. He had a tragic accident, and they pronounced him dead maybe that Friday, and he had organ transplants maybe on the 31st. So this week has been a very heavy week for me, and that's one thing about grief I want everybody to understand. Is number one is one of the things that we did as a family and as a unit is that we allowed each other to be able to grieve the way we grieve. Most of the time, people want you to grieve on their timetable or the way they grieve. And one of the first things that we did was we sat down as a family and says, okay, it's okay if one of the members of the family is smiling and the other one is not. Or one person is crying and the other one is not. So we're not trying to control a person's feelings or emotions. One of the things I teach my clients is that a feeling is just an emotion that wants to communicate with us and leave. And so for this week, for me, I've had some feelings of sadness. Get that? I want everybody to understand what I just said, because it's important to how I said it. I said I had feelings of sadness. Yeah. I am not sad. A feeling of sadness is different than taking on the identity of sadness. What the world sometimes want us to do now is place labels on us. I am ADHD. I am this. I am that. No, you basically having some symptoms or some things that are causing you to feel this way. So one of the things I try to teach my clients is that a feeling is just an emotion that wants to communicate with us and leave. And so for me to deal with it on a daily basis is that I did a podcast the other day. It's like two hands. One hand is this feeling of sadness, and the other hand is this feeling of gratitude. And so we have to understand that it's just a feeling. Some days people says, well, today is his birthday. Well, sometimes it's just a Thursday where you get this feeling of sadness. And then at the same time, you have the gratitude, the fact that he was with us as long as he was. So how I deal with it is understanding that there is two hands. One is I'm sad that he's not here with us today, but I have gratitude that we had the opportunity to be in his life for about 32 years.
Wow. Very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing, Curtis. Yeah. And yes, any last words on our conversation in regards to grief?
Yeah, grief is, I do a thing every 3 weeks about grief, because grief is one of those things that people try to run from. I'll put it like this. They don't want to go through it, right? And there is a passage in the Bible, in the book of James, he says, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing the trial of your faith worketh patience. Then he goes on and says, but let patience have her perfect work. And kind of what that carries the ideal of this, Dr. Gigi, is that we're going to, and this is the big thing too, I want people to understand. He says, when diverse, that means different shades and colors. Please don't go up and tell a person, I know what you're going through. You don't. because their experience is a different color, different shade. It might look like, smell like, almost like a person's grief or a person's experience is not. You can say, I've had a similar experience to you and I kind of know what you're going through and I can appreciate or whatever, something like that. But the whole idea of that is that when we are going through something, he says, count it all joy. He didn't say he's going to be joyful. He didn't say you're going to be happy about it. He said, be joy, have joy. Joy is something that comes from within and not without. It's not being happy, it's being joyous. And he said this, but I love this part. He says, but let it have this perfect work. What it means here is that we have to go through it.
Yes.
We can't abort it. This is what most people try to do when it comes to grief, when it comes to challenges, when it comes to heartbreak, when it comes to setbacks. So they want to get it over with quickly. They want to take a drug. They want to have a lot of sex. They want to have all these things to try to get over it. No, stop it. Go through it. Because he says, when you go through it, you're learning lessons. That's the legit mindset. You learn lessons that you would never have learned before if you didn't go through it. Am I happy that my son passed away? No. But the lessons that I've learned over the last 5 years have really propelled my life to a different level. I can share with people on a different level of empathy because of that. And that's the whole idea. It's like when we go through something, when we have to go through something similar to that again, we've learned the lessons from it. And that's one of the biggest things the subconscious mind wants is lessons. And so it's like allows us to have these lessons that will release the energy around whatever we're going through. So you got me on that. I apologize for going too long on that with that.
You're good. I so appreciate you for being transparent and vulnerable. And I love what you said, the lesson, right? Take the lesson. I always say, leave the past in the past and take the lesson with you, because what's going to happen if you don't take the lesson with you is going to repeat. The pattern is going to repeat over and over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
So, sociology perspective on that. But anyhow.
Yes. And that's the whole idea is that's the lesson. Even in the subconscious world, the subconscious love lessons. That's why it keeps presenting people with problems. They're like, okay, I hate my job, right? They hate their job and they go show up, but then they're like, I got a backache, I got a neck ache, I got a stomach ache. If the subconscious mind says, look, you hate your job, what's the lesson? I need to find something that I'm passionate about, that I can get up early, step late for. And that's why a lot of the stuff some of the things that we have on a physical level is because of the fact that we want to abort everything and get rid of it really quickly.
Yes, the lesson is very important. Thanks so much, Curtis. Let's talk about the goal is the same. You say the goal is the same, which is presence. Can you elaborate a little bit more? Presence. Tell us a little bit more. I feel like there's more. Tell us.
Well, basically, when you think about presence, right? It's like Jim Rohn said many, many years ago. That was one of my favorite guys I used to listen to all the time. He says, wherever you are, be there. Meaning, wherever you are, be there. I mean, for right now, right here, right now, I'm sitting with you. I'm connecting with you.
Yes.
And if I'm connecting with you, now we have not just a connection, we can have a spiritual connection. And you know that I'm present. Most of the time when we're meeting with individuals, we're not present. We have our phones that we're doing something else. We call us multitasking. Well, sometimes you don't need to multitask. You just need to be present with the person that you're with. One of my highest values is love. And my values for love, my label is love, but the definition for that love is connecting from the heart. Meaning I want to have, when I'm meeting with you, Dr. Gigi, I want to have this connection so that you know that I'm listening. I'm here for you. Right now, right here, nothing else matters. Right before we got on the air, about an hour or so ago, and I was in the kitchen getting my afternoon coffee, and I told my wife, honey, I feel like I'm about to just lose it. I'm about to cry. Why? Because this is the week that we have these experiences. For some reason, the body or the body keeps score now, but guess what? I'm here. Right now, the only thing that matters is that I'm connecting with your audience and sharing something with them that can help them move their lives. That's the only thing that matters right now.
Yes, and we hear you, and my heart goes out to you. Thank you again so much for being transparent and vulnerable. And as you mentioned, this is the week that you lost your son. and I'm so sorry. My condolences and continued prayers for you and your family. And thank you so much for going a little bit deeper as far as presence, right? You say the goal is the same, which is presence. And thanks for the reminder again to everyone, right? To be in the present moment. And I agree with you 100%, because what's happening when you're not in the present moment, or you're constantly on a mobile device or just gazing off elsewhere, so often you really, really miss what's right in front of you.
Yes.
So that's why I love to be present in the moment, especially too. For example, I'm on this podcast. I'm in the present moment. My phone is on mute. I want to hear from you, Curtis, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Yes, and just letting go and letting God here, and completely not scripted, right? We're just letting go and letting Him. And I'm excited to be here with you today, and our guests here listening in as well. It's such an honor. Now, Curtis, what gives you the most joy?
What gives me the most joy is really seeing people transform. I mean, it's like, or this is the thing, because I don't take responsibility for a person changing. I take responsibility for the facilitation of that, meaning that I'm using my talent, my skills, and my abilities to actually help move your life. And I've just came out of a breakthrough. A breakthrough for me is when a client comes to me and we want a breakthrough. A breakthrough is actually 2 days, 4 hour a piece, where we actually do a deep dive into what is it that's actually driving your behavior. Then we use a modality called mental and emotional release to release all the negative emotions on anger, sadness, guilt, shame, fear, and anything else that comes up in that session. And at one moment in that session, we were talking, and they said, it was like a light bulb came on, and you can see it on her face. Like, she's been dealing with this for years. I mean, like 20 years. And then within 1 hour, we figured out and pinpoint what that was. We could put a label on it. And to see her face change in that moment, that's what I show up for. That's what I do. I get up early and stay up late to do that. I even do it for free, but I won't. But I will sometimes. But yes. But that's how much we read.
Well, remember that it took 7 years now, so I get it.
Yeah, that moment you see it, and it was like just one of those moments. That's one that gives me the biggest joy. Or just then one of the things too, I'm still learning this one is just to be authentic. I think people now are looking for authentic people. And one of my mantras and one of my affirmations is that I'm looking for people who are looking for me, and being authentically Curtis is more than enough. And that brings me joy, knowing that, and when I show up, I'm just going to show up as Curtis. If you like me, fine. If you don't, that's okay. Find someone who you like that can work with you, that can actually help you make the changes that you need. That's what's important to me.
I love it. As a coach, I can relate to what you're saying so much. So thanks so much for sharing everything that you shared today, Curtis. Now, Curtis, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
I think one of the things that I tell most of individuals is this, Dr. Gigi. It's okay not to be okay. But it's not okay to pretend that you're okay and you're not. And it's okay to say that I'm feeling sadness. It's okay to say I'm feeling some fear. It's okay to that. Back in the day when I was coming up in motivation, they used to tell us, it's raining outside, but look outside. Think about the sunshine. Well, heck, it's raining. The realization is right now in my life is raining, and it's okay. Because if I know that and understand that, then now I can make a choice. I can make a choice. If it's raining, I can say, I'm going to put on my rain cap, my raincoat, my umbrella, and I'm going to go out in the rain because I need to go from point A to point B. Or I can say, you know what? Today I want to be whimsical. I want to have fun. I'm just going to go out in the rain and be wet and just get soaking wet like a 5-year-old child. And guess what? I'm still going to get to point A to point B. Or I can say, you know what? It's raining outside, and I still can be productive inside. And so I understand that it's raining, and that's what's happening in my life right now. The storm is raging. Acknowledge that the storm is raging. It's okay. Because once we acknowledge it, our subconscious mind begins to now release the energy around it, and then allow you to now to find ways to now figure out what is it that you need to do to continue to move forward. That's the key to it. I mean, right? That to me is like acknowledge it, understand it. Now take some deep breathing to make sure that you're back into parasympathetic nervous system is activated, and then allow yourself now to come up with ideas. Do not ask why questions. Ask yourself, what do I need to do? How can I move forward? Why question, guys, will drive you to a place where you do not want to go. Because your subconscious mind will figure out every reason why you are where you are. We're not looking for where you are. We're trying to find out where to go next. And that's the what questions.
Very powerful. I love it. Thank you so much, Curtis. Now, do you have any last words for the audience?
Yeah, I think the last words is just be your best. Wherever you are on your journey, it's okay. Stop looking around. I mean, because we surf the internet all the time, and we see these memes, we see these people, and they like standing out in front of their cars. You don't know what they're going through, and they trying to mask what they're going through. So that makes you feel like you're not enough. That what you're going through is not important. It is. Just appreciate wherever you are on your journey, and start really asking yourself better questions. What is it I need to do next? If it's God, you need to consult God. If it's the universe, whatever it is that you need, your higher source, because there's something out there bigger than all of us that actually drives our behavior. So we need to actually seek out that, because all the answers, this is what I truly believe, guys. I believe that you have all the resources within yourself to become the best version of yourself. So stop and start consulting with yourself. And I'm telling you, great things are going to come up that's going to allow you to take inspired actions that you can become better than you were yesterday.
That's right. Thanks so much, Curtis, for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast. Now, where can the audience find you, Curtis?
They can go to either Bespoke Human Potential Coaching.com or CurtisMcCullom.com. And everything about me is on their website. You can look at a bio. You can get some information if you want me as a speaker. All of that stuff is on my site. And if you just want to talk to me, there's a button on the top corner that says, hey, a 15-minute free clarity call. Let's talk. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's see how can I help and support you or not. And then if we can see where to go next.
Awesome. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Curtis. And Curtis, thanks again so much for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast. God bless you.
Oh, and God bless you. It was a pleasure to be with you today, Dr. Gigi.